The Beast of Blackwood Forest. In the heart of the English countryside, shrouded by the dense canopy of ancient trees, lay Blackwood Forest. A place of natural beauty, it held a darker reputation due to the legend of a beast that was said to roam its depths. The local villagers spoke of it only in hushed tones, a tale passed down through generations about a creature with eyes like burning coals and a howl that could freeze the blood of any who heard it. Thomas, a young and ambitious journalist from London, found himself drawn to the mystery of Blackwood Forest. Skeptical of the supernatural and hungry for a story that could launch his career, he decided to spend a week in the forest, aiming to debunk the legend of the beast. He arrived on a crisp autumn morning, the leaves a riot of color against the gray sky. Armed with a camera, notebook, and an unshakable sense of skepticism, Thomas set up camp in the heart of the forest. The first few days passed without incident, the only sounds being the rustle of wildlife and the whisper of the wind through the trees. However, on the fourth night, things changed. Thomas was awakened by an eerie, blood-curdling howl that seemed to come from all directions. Grabbing his camera, he ventured out into the moonlit forest, driven by a mix of fear and curiosity. The deeper he ventured, the more he felt a sense of unease, as if he were being watched. Then, in a clearing bathed in moonlight, he saw a massive, shadowy figure with glowing red eyes. The beast of Blackwood Forest was real, and it was unlike anything Thomas had ever seen. It stood on two legs like a man, but was covered in thick, dark fur, with long, clawed hands and a snarl that revealed sharp, monstrous teeth. Panicked, Thomas ran, the beast's howls echoing in his ears. He did not stop until he reached the village, bursting into the local inn, his story tumbling out in a frenzy of words. The villagers listened in silence, their faces a mixture of fear, pity, and resignation. The next day, against all advice, Thomas returned to the forest, determined to obtain evidence of the creature's existence. But what he found instead were clues to a more earthly horror. Hidden in an old, dilapidated cabin, he discovered journals belonging to a man named Edward Blackwood, the last scion of the family that once owned the forest. The journals spoke of a family curse, a transformation brought upon by an ancestor's misdeeds, turning them into a beast on moonlit nights. Edward, knowing he was the last of his line, had isolated himself in the forest to protect the surrounding villages from his own cursed existence. Shocked and moved by the tragic tale, Thomas knew he had to end this cycle of suffering. He returned to the village, gathering a group of willing men to confront, and if necessary, kill the beast. Armed with rifles and torches, they ventured into the forest as night fell, guided by Thomas, who was torn between his duty to the truth and his compassion for Edward's cursed fate. The confrontation came in the same moonlit clearing. The beast, tormented and raging, emerged from the shadows. But in its eyes, Thomas saw not malice, but a desperate plea for release. With a heavy heart, Thomas stepped forward, a silver bullet loaded in his rifle, a gift from the villagers said to end the curse. As he took aim, the beast spoke in a voice that was all too human, a single word that halted Thomas's resolve: "Thank you." The shot rang out, echoing through the forest, a final, tragic end to the Blackwood legacy. In the aftermath, Thomas wrote his story, not of a monstrous beast, but of a family's curse and a man's sorrowful fate. It was a tale that captured the hearts of many, far beyond the confines of the village. Blackwood Forest was eventually cleared, the land given back to nature, but the legend of the beast lived on, a somber reminder of the thin line between man and myth. Thomas left the countryside with more than just a story. He left with a newfound respect for the legends and lore that shape our understanding of the natural world. And though he would go on to write many more articles, none would ever touch him as deeply as the tragic tale of the Beast of Blackwood Forest.